Hello folks, welcome to the very first Ceramics with Como, the digital version, which is no longer ceramics. We are now using modeling clay. That's what I have in my hands here, is what I got on my tabletop here. I chose modeling clay because it is reusable, because I could send it out to you all and we could make enough projects with it without having to send out a huge amount of material. And because it never dries out, so less risk in those regards. And it also has physical qualities that are quite similar to the ceramic clay that we had been using. Okay, it is made up out of what's called ball clay, which is in our ceramics that we've been using. Um, the big difference is that this clay, modeling clay, is not water-based. It is oil-based. Now, do not add water to it. Do not try to spray it down to loosen it up. To loosen it up, we use heat, body heat, friction, right? I can take this bit of clay and start squeezing it together in my hand, warming it up, okay? You can keep it someplace a little bit warm if you need a bunch of it to loosen up quickly. Not too warm. Do not put it in a microwave. I learned that the hard way on my own. But it shouldn't take too much. It warms up pretty well and easy. I suggest taking out of the package and just playing with it. Just break off a piece and start squeezing it. Play with it. Okay? Stick it together. Pull it apart. Okay? Get to know the material a little bit. Now, since it is oil-based, it doesn't really stain much of it. Like, touches your clothes, don't worry about that, but you wouldn't want to like set it somewhere sensitive, like on a tablecloth or whatnot. um, I recommend finding something, anything you can use as a work platform, something that's not soluble. You don't want the piece of just cardboard, although if that's all you had, you could definitely use it. um, Something plastic would be ideal. Okay. But whatever you can find, that's not a thing. Okay. And I've just got some in my hand here that I'm working. Okay. Let's see. All right. Work this around. And the first thing that I want to do with you all is to just make 3 simple forms that are textured throughout. And that's just to get us started here. Okay. Um, 2 of them geometric, 1 of them an organic shape. Okay. So you could do a square and a sphere and something form. Don't try to make anything representational. Just let it be a form. Okay. And I'll bust out 3 examples for you guys right now. Okay. For my square, and how big do they have to be? This biggish. Golf ball. Okay. I'm severely reducing the scale of what I'm asking anyone to do. Okay, because I know that we're working at home. We might be working in less than ideal spaces. I know that I am. I'm working. I'm lucky enough that I have a small workspace in my house, but not everyone has that. Some of you will be doing this at the kitchen table. I empathize with you. And just like we have been doing with the clay in the studio, I'm using my board. Okay, I got a few tools here that I just found around the house. But I sent you all a kit of tools, and just like I was encouraging you all when we had class, was to experiment and play. Same deal. I'm sure you can find stuff around your house, no matter where you are, that you can use for tools. Okay? And I'm just shaping up this cube using the table. Tap it down. Okay. I can use my fingers to smooth it out. Use my fingers to smooth it out, and then I'll edge it back up again. Okay. There we go. Now, as you're working it, it gets soft. As it gets soft, it's really good for changing the form, for blending. Not always the best for texturing, stamping, pressing it. Right? And that's similar to the water-based clay we've been using, is that there are stages. The difference between this is that the stages are determined by the temperature. The warmer it is, the more plastic it is, the cooler it is, the less plastic it is. Okay. I shaped my square. I think I want to cut it though too. Okay. I want it to be crispy. Okay. I just found this old palette knife. I sent you guys some tools. You have better tools. I'll have to grab some when I can. But point in case, use whatever you can find around the house. Slice. 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 I really miss the studio. You know, as a sculptor, there's a reason why I am. Because I value the tangible. I value physical space. I find that too often humans treat physical space as a granted, as if our brains are the boss and our bodies are just secondary. You know, like our bodies are just the automaton for our brain, the vehicle. No way, I don't believe that. They're united, they're one. Show me a brain that can exist without a body. Okay, I'm going to put some textures on this, and I'm going to call that one piece. Okay? And let's see. Texture-wise, oh, I don't know. I'm just going to use the end of this pencil, you know? Maybe, I mean, I could do a die, you know, like some dice, but that's pretty obvious. I'd rather just do a series of circles, right? It doesn't need to be a thing. We're not making things. Okay? Alright, just like that. All the way around. I'm going to do all 6 sides. You might find that you need to give it a rest for a minute. You know, maybe become too squishy in your hands. Okay? And if it does, you don't want to change the shape, set it down. You can put it in the refrigerator if you need it to cool quickly. Or just set it down, go do something. Alright. I'll texture this up and make a couple more. Okay, and for the organic shape, I highly recommend you don't try to make anything, okay? In fact, don't. Just play with the shapes, find a form that feels pleasing to you in some way. I like things like this because it always becomes specific to the maker's body, in this case their hands, right? What feels right in my hand may feel wrong in your hand, and vice versa. Let's see. I mean, look at the piece too, but feel it. Okay. I think I like something like that. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to smooth it out. Okay. I'm going to smooth it all out, and then I'm going to texture it. You don't have to smooth it out. You can play with a rough texture. You can explore the texture of your flesh on the clay too. Okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But I found something that I want to try out. And the end of this pen has a nice little indent right there. I want to use it and create a stipple texture on there. But I also noticed that I played with it just a little while ago. I noticed that it distorts the clay a lot, presses hard into it to get the shape that I want out of it. So this is a great example of me needing to cool down this clay before I do the texture on there. So I'm going to form it, I'm going to smooth it out, then I'm going to stick it in the refrigerator for, I don't know, 5-10 minutes or so. Okay. And that's only because I want to get back to it sooner. If you don't have to get back to it sooner, you can just let it sit by a window or anywhere cool. Okay. There we go. All right, I'm back. This is cooled down. I stuck it in the freezer for about 4 minutes. Cooled down enough. If you leave it in too long, it becomes rock hard. And that's no fun. And also, if you let it freeze, water vapor will condense on top of it, and you'll have water film on top, and that's no fun either. There we go. That's what I wanted. Those circle indentations there. I'm going to detail this up, and that'll be that. Okay. Remember to keep in contact with me. Also, another thing about this clay, you don't want to get it dirty because it'll never come out. Any grime you get in there. So I recommend sticking it in a plastic bag, like a Ziploc or something, whenever you got laying around when you're not using it. I don't recommend using it like sitting on your living room floor with the cat's been laying. It'll pick up and collect every bit of hair and stuff and become just kind of gross to work with. Okay? All right, folks. Best of luck. I look forward to seeing some results. Take care.